What's going on, guys? Maz here. Hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to go over all the information that we currently know about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Recently, the Pokemon Company invited a bunch of people to come play a demo of the game. They were given an hour of playtime with an early build of the game to get their hands on first impressions. I have compiled a list of all the new information that you may or may not have known into this one video. All video links sourcing this information will be provided below in the description. Unfortunately, I was not one of the lucky few that got to play the game, so please keep in mind that all of this information is based off of the reviewers' experiences as well as the Nintendo representatives that were there to answer their questions. So hopefully by the end of the video, you'll know just a little bit more about the game that maybe you didn't already. We've got a lot of information to cover, so let's jump right in. Starting off with quality of life changes and general gameplay features, there's going to be 18 badges in the game. That's right, guys, you heard that right. Obviously, we're going to have 8 gym leader badges, but what you may not know, each team star crew boss will grant you a badge after defeating them. Not only that, the Path of Legends story arc, apparently you may actually be able to get a badge for every Titan that you defeat as well. Meaning, it's quite possible that we're gonna have a badge for every single type in the game. Moving on, another huge change, line of sight for trainer battles are now removed. So we're gonna be able to find many trainers throughout the world. They're gonna toss a Pokeball, maybe they'll have a little exclamation point above their head or a little chat bubble, and it's gonna say, hey, let's battle. Anyway, the main important focus here is that battles are initiated by the player. I think that's an excellent change because now we're able to initiate these battles whenever we want. We're not gonna be paused in the middle of our exploration, to be forced to jump into a battle. Well done, Game Freak. Good job. Just so we know, there are several different ways that we can run into Pokemon in the wild. You can either run into them or they can run into you to initiate the battle. So you have to actually walk up to them and initiate it, or they may even attack you. Also, you can throw a Pokeball directly at them, and you can also sneak up behind them. If you do throw a Pokeball at its back, similar to Legends Arceus with the back strike mechanic, if done successfully, the Pokemon will flinch on the first turn of battle. While you can throw your Pokeball at a wild Pokemon, unfortunately, we can't catch them in the overworld. This is now officially confirmed. I'm kind of sad about that, but you know what? It's okay. We can live with it. Moving on. Gyms will not scale in difficulty. These Pokemon are predetermined in Pokemon level. However, gyms can be done in any order. If you want to start the game and you want to just jump straight to maybe the furthest possible gym, you absolutely can do that. Although be warned, you are going to end up fighting some possibly pretty strong high-level Pokemon. EXP share is always on. You will have access to your PC at any time from anywhere when exploring freely in the world. Another great feature that's returning, the move changing / relearning system from Legends Arceus returns. We don't need to go to any sort of move tutors to change our moves. You're able to change your Pokemon moves at any time, which is fantastic. Something also very interesting, shiny Pokemon can be seen in the overworld. The game itself is not going to be locked to the Nintendo Switch's clock. Instead, it's going to run on its own separate day and night cycle. This is an in-game timer that's similar to that of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So a new feature, as we already know, we now have a mini map in this game, but not only that, it goes a little bit more in depth. When you set a waypoint on your map, the game automatically pans your camera in the right direction. You can toggle the mini map on and off whenever you want, and this also includes toggling Pokemon icons on and off as well. Very simple, very easy. In the main menu, you can press Y to instantly swap the Pokemon to the top of your team as your lead. Also, you can auto heal your Pokemon in the main menu as well. Apparently there's no quest log in the game. I find it a little bit odd. Maybe it just wasn't in the build that the reviewers were playing. I'm hoping that's the case. We'll have to wait and see. Another nice little feature, you can change your Pokemon nicknames from the menu whenever you want. A big brand new feature to the game being the co-op. 3 of your friends or 3 random strangers. You guys can literally explore the Paldea region all together. Freely go wherever you want within the same world. And you're not tethered together. You can completely go your separate ways. You can visit shops together, watch each other battle. You can emote, take selfies with each other. There are so many things that you can do. It's not yet confirmed if you guys are both able to catch the same wild Pokemon, or is it something where if a wild Pokemon pops up, whoever throws a Pokeball at it first gets to catch it. That's not confirmed yet. We're not too sure on those details, but I think it is so cool that we're actually able to experience a full-fledged Pokemon game with your friends To me, that's mind-blowing. I can't believe that. Another thing, Pokemon centers are absolutely everywhere, so they're very accessible and they're treated more like pit stops in this game. You can approach them by either side. On top of being able to heal your Pokemon, you are also able to have access to the TM machine, where you can craft your own TMs, also where you can access the co-op features as well. When a Pokemon gains multiple levels, it only fills the experience bar once. It'll just say how many levels the Pokemon grew. It'll say like plus however many levels. Additional little details such as, your character reacting to various weather conditions. So you may see, your trainer not exactly enjoy being wet from the rain. NPCs will also maybe react. But what's really cool is that, your follow Pokemon, we are able to have one Pokemon follow us at all times. They will actually react to it. In certain instances, your Pokemon may be happily enjoying running around in the rain. Nice little things like this that, I can really appreciate as a gamer. Occasionally, wild Pokemon will also spectate your battles, but they won't join in. This is really making us feel like the world around us is alive. You're gonna see these Pokemon just kind of out in the wild. They're gonna be doing their own thing. They're gonna be interacting with each other. And what's really cool is that apparently, once we're in battles, sometimes you may actually see these Pokemon kind of come out and sort of spectate the battle. In terms of character movement options, so, we're able to run, crouch, and sneak. Pressing the crouch button while running will make your character kind of do like a slide. There is no dodge roll mechanic, which likely alludes to the fact that your trainer is not physically going to be able to get hurt or take damage from wild Pokemon. While exploring the open world, we're going to be able to see lots of items scattered throughout the world. Different types of items can be found, Pokeballs or regular items, TMs. There are also going to be hidden items like previous games, that little faint sparkle on the ground and you just press A on it. By the way, the music absolutely slaps in this game. You guys hear this? Pokemon currency, so we do still have Pokédollars. There is something brand new called League Points. This is a secondary currency that can be earned during the story, so whether you're fighting a Titan, gym leaders, team star bosses, etc. League Points are used to exchange for materials. These materials can then be used to craft TMs. Another huge new change is we're going to be able to see different Pokemon families and groups found in the wild. Sometimes final evolutions can be found surrounded by their pre-evolutions. Additionally, you can see Pokemon pairings, so you may see two different Pokemon interacting with each other. You can find Pokemon not only in the grass, but also in trees, in swamps, waters, and even the sky. The world does not feel empty by any stretch. It feels full of life. You're going to see different types of Pokemon interacting with each other. We're going to see packs of different Pokemon, pairs of Pokemon. This really helps with the idea that, this world feels very much alive. Similar to Pokemon Legends Arceus, Pokemon can be different sizes in the wilds. Wild Pokemon levels are going to start to increase the further you go from the starting area, so your house and the first routes. Additionally, as you travel further away, you will also start to see the Pokemon evolution forms as well. Another nice new feature, Pokemon evolution happens wherever you are in the overworld, which is so cool. Speaking about the Pokedex, you can check the Pokemon Habitat section. It will bring up certain parts of your map, and it'll even light up to show where they can be found. Speaking of new features, now we have a camera that we're able to use at any time. Pressing down on the D-pad brings up your camera. Your camera can be used to take pictures, either from the front or flipping it over to take selfies. These pictures can then be used as your trainer card profile pic. In battle, you can move your joystick and choose which type of camera styles you want to view your battle in as well. Let's talk a little bit about trainer customization. Guys, let me tell you, best character customization we've ever had for any Pokemon game by far. Trainer customization right at the start of the game, we're able to choose our base appearance. There's no specific gender for your trainer. So when you start the game, we may get a few different skin tone options. Once you pick the base, you're then able to completely customize your character right away. You can customize your hair, your face, your eye shape, many different hairstyles and color. It looks like we're gonna have to still go into salons to change hair color. Your character can wear any type of clothing as well, no gender specific clothing. 4 main uniforms, 1 for each season, many different accessories including phone cases for a Rotom phone. I'm sure that there are gonna be clothing shops where we'll be be able to go in and buy some more clothes and that sort of thing. But the best part about all of this is that you can access trainer customization at any time with the D-pad. This is great. They're doing such a great job with this customization stuff, man. Like, this is the kind of stuff that we've been begging for the longest time, and we finally get it. I feel like we've been so limited to trainer customization in the past. This is the first time we're actually able to really just tweak our appearance any way that we want. Okay, let's talk about the Terastallized mechanic in the Tera raids. The Terastallized mechanic has a charge and can only be used a certain number of times. We know for sure it's once per battle, but we're not entirely sure how many times we can use it before it needs to be charged. This is confirmed, by the way. We do have to go to a Pokemon Center to recharge our Terastall crystal. I don't even know what to call this thing. So we do know that Tera Pokemon can be found out in the wild. You'll actually see them glowing and moving around. They're not going to be in just like a static location. They're not just going to stay still like we saw in that trailer with the Jigglypuff. They're actually going to be walking around, you know, doing their own thing. Possibly there's a chance that any wild Pokemon could randomly be a Tera Pokemon. Very similar to a random chance of a shiny. These Tera Pokemon are going to be much higher level and they're going to be a lot stronger than all the wild Pokemon in the area. At this point, it's unclear if there's something stopping you from catching the Tera Pokemon after defeating them. Nothing has been said yet about if there's going to be any sort of limitations to being able to, you know, catch these Pokemon. Very similar to Pokemon Sword and Shield. We were in the wild area. If we ran into a high level Pokemon, we can battle them, but we weren't able to catch them because that was tied and based off of how many gym badges you had. I don't know if this is going to be the same for this game. That remains to be seen. What we do know, if you do find a wild Tera Pokemon, you can battle them. Their Terastallized form will break apart, at which point we're able to catch them. It's likely that we are going to receive some sort of material or item for defeating them. I don't know if it's going to be the same for catching as well. Not too sure on that yet. Here's something you may not have known. When a Pokemon Terastallizes, they will still keep their stab bonus to the original type. So for those that don't know, stab meaning same type attack bonus. If you have a fire type Pokemon, using a fire type move, you will get a slight damage increase because it's the same Pokemon using the same type of move. They will have stab for not only their original types, but they will also have stab for the Tera type as well. We don't know 100% for sure if this is accurate or not, so take that with a grain of salt, but it does sound like that is likely. Additionally, Tera Blast is a brand new move and uses your Pokemon's best attacking stat. While we're walking around the world, we are also going to be able to find these Tera raid dens, very similar to the raid dens in Pokemon Sword and Shield. They're going to have anywhere from 1 to 7 star ratings. You'll be able to either take on this Tera raid with NPC players, which, by the way, apparently the AI for your NPC teammates are supposed to be much better than they were in Pokemon Sword and Shield. So take that for what you will. In Tera raid dens, you can then coordinate with other players using default text prompts. While doing a Tera raid battle, you must do 3 attacks before you can Terastallize your Pokemon. It's not specified if every trainer must do 3 attacks each. It's possible that it's after 3 rounds of turns, but we don't know for sure. Also, Tera raid battles are done in real time, so there's no waiting for everyone to take turns during their moves. It's very similar to Pokemon Go's raid battle mechanic. You can choose to also cheer instead of attack at any point. Cheering will give your entire team a buff. So you may either get some sort of attacking stat boost, maybe a speed or defense, or you may even get healed. I feel like it's going to kind of be a roll of the dice, so I don't think you were able to really choose one or the other. Tera raid battles are on a timer. If you run out, you lose. After defeating or catching a Pokemon in a Tera raid, they will reward you with experience candies, berries, and other various items, very similar to Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now let's talk about one of the biggest new features in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We're talking about the Let's Go Auto Battle feature. So the Let's Go feature allows you to throw out your Pokemon and it will automatically battle a wild Pokemon for you. Another important thing to note, auto battles give less experience points. You can also use your Pokemon to pick up items for you. Very similar to Pokemon Legends Arceus, how we're able to throw out a Pokemon and they're able to gather materials for us. Similar to that. Now, a very important piece of information, guys. Let's Go will not tell the difference between a normal Pokemon and a shiny. If there's a shiny, your Pokemon's not going to be able to differentiate between the two. Let's not freak out too much about this because thankfully you are able to cancel the auto battle by calling your Pokemon back. Your Pokemon will not auto battle with Terastallized Pokemon, by the way. The main thing that we should know about these auto battles is that it's going to be based on our Pokemon's levels and the wild Pokemon's level, but it's also going to take into consideration the type matchup as well. So my level 35 Pokemon against a level 2, the battle is going to be quick and easy. If I auto battle something that's very, very strong, my Pokemon is very weak, there's a good chance I'm not going to be able to auto battle it, or my Pokemon's probably going to get knocked out. We don't know 100% for sure with these specifics, but I feel like this is kind of where, you know, things are leaning towards. And of course, then also the type matchup as well is also important, so we got to keep both of those two things in mind. Another important piece of information regarding auto battles, having attacking moves that deal damage are not going to be required. Maybe your Magikarp just knows Splash, but you throw it against some random, you know, wild fire type Pokemon, there's a good chance your Magikarp is going to do just fine. And this is a good way to possibly grind up weak Pokemon and grind up their levels a little bit. Keep in mind that when you do auto battle, your Pokemon will lose a little bit of health. Another brand new change to the game is wild Pokemon are going to drop very specific items only to them. If you fight a Lechonk, you're going to get Lechonk hair. You're going to be getting these crafting materials very easily by auto battling. You're then going to be able to use these materials to craft your TMs. It's not clear if we're still going to get these crafting items if we just fight the Pokemon normally, like in an actual battle. I feel like we probably still will, but I'm not entirely sure yet. Auto battles may have the chance of you finding a wild held item as well. Okay, let's quickly talk about the Team Star compounds. So one of the 3 main story arcs in the game, the evil team of the game, there are going to be these compounds scattered throughout the world, each with their own specialized type. If you do try and enter the compound in other means aside from the front, you will be spotted and stopped. You will be prevented from entering any other way. Once you find a star compound, you're only able to take 3 Pokemon with you. You're going to be given an objective to defeat a certain number of Pokemon within the time limit. As an example, you must defeat 30 Growlithe in 10 minutes. You'll need to run around to find packs of Pokemon. The Team Star grunts will not send out their Pokemon until you find and go near them. Additionally, these types of battles are going to be pure auto battle. All 3 Pokemon can do auto battles at the same time while you're in the compound. After completing the Team Star compound, you're then going to be able to fight the Star Leader, and in this case, the reviewers were saying that they had to fight Mela's Starmobile engine Pokemon. Once you battle the Star Leader, you can then use your full team again. The boss fight was actually apparently very difficult for most of the reviewers, and even in some cases almost wiping out full teams. Although we don't have any sort of footage showing what this battle looks like, apparently it's really difficult. Which actually makes me pretty excited because I'm looking forward to having a bit of a challenge while playing this game. Okay, in terms of the Path of Legends story arc, Titans can be done in any order. We're not sure if this means we'll have them unlocked available to us from the start or if we're going to need a certain number of badges. We're not too sure about that yet, but what we do know is Titan Pokemon have a very large HP bar, and the most effective way to beat them is to use a super effective Tera type attack on them. Once you defeat them, they will run away and must be hunted down multiple times. As you're exploring Paldea, Arvin, he's going to be able to call you up on your Rotom phone. He's going to say, hey, look, this location here is where the Titan Cloth is. Let's go find him. Let's go look for him. That sort of thing. The Victory Road arc, we are going to be able to go inside of gym battle facilities. Once you enter them, you're going to be able to have to do some sort of gym challenge. It's going to be its own separate map. We don't know for sure yet if we're going to have to battle trainers at any point, the gym trainers. I don't think anyone's heard anything about that yet. After we do the gym challenge, we're then going to be able to face off with the gym leader as well. Finally, picnics and sandwich making. Similar to Pokemon Sword and Shield, you're able to kind of set up this camp. We're able to have fun with our Pokemon. We're able to play with them out in the wild. We could throw a ball. Picnics will allow you to also bathe your Pokemon. Bathing your Pokemon restores HP and increases friendship level. While we do know that getting Pokemon eggs in this game are tied to picnics in some way, we still don't know how exactly that works yet. We also have this brand new sandwich minigame. We can build a sandwich with different condiments and toppings. When building your sandwich, you want to avoid it falling apart. Ingredients cannot be picked up and adjusted once you put them down. It's unclear if you fail the minigame or if the recipe becomes ruined. So once you put down that Lechonk meat, I meant ham, sorry, I'm talking about ham. Once you drop down that ham, you better make sure you put it in the right spot because you're not able to pick that thing back up after it's done. Creating and eating these sandwiches will give us various buffs that will impact our wild encounters. You can create a certain sandwich that will maybe increase wild Pokemon's catch rate, the encounter rate, increase our rate to find bigger, smaller sized Pokemon. We can also make sandwiches that'll help us in Tera raid dens as well. Apparently, we may even be able to craft a recipe that will increase shiny rate. Not 100% sure on that, but there is a possibility that that could be a thing. We're gonna get a plethora of different boosts just by making and eating these sandwiches. There are also various ice cream shops and food shops that, you'll be able to buy these pre-made foods that will also give buffs. I don't know if that also means that you're gonna be able to buy pre-made sandwiches as well. That's unclear. Obviously, sandwich making is gonna be a really important part of this game. Whether you like it or not, you're gonna wanna check it out at least once. Okay guys, and that was it. I did my best to try and just compile as much information as possible and pack it into one video. If you found it helpful, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate that. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you have friends that are interested in Pokemon and they're starving for information, send them this video. If there's anything that I missed, please let me know in the comments below. It was a lot of information to go through. And again, I am going to link all of the sources below in the description as well. We are only a few weeks away from the release of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'm sure you guys are just as excited as I am. So overall, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully you guys were able to learn a little bit more about this game. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys in the next video. More Pokemon content coming soon.